This is a day in the life of a Japanese oyster farmer. This is Shota, 30 years old, living in a coastal town in Japan's Ishikawa prefecture, and he's just waking up for work. His day starts early at 4 a.m. before most typical Japanese wake up, including his family. He lives in this 2-story house with his wife and 2 kids. Since he has a 2-year-old who often wakes up at night, he sleeps in a separate room to ensure he gets enough sleep while also avoiding waking them up in the morning. He usually keeps his breakfast light, just a can of coffee to help wake up, and while he drinks it, he spends some time on his PC. What are you doing?
アルバイトのシフト管理とかやってます。
Nice. Shota works at his family business, even helping out in his elementary years after school. And by the time he was ready to graduate high school, he had already made the decision to eventually take over the business. To prepare himself for what was ahead, he spent 5 years working in the Kanazawa Central Fish Market. And with the experience under his belt, he returned home to work alongside his father. Good morning, everyone. I'm back with another day in the life. This one is super early, but we had to do it. Luckily, Shota should be arriving shortly, so all we have to do is wait for him to arrive. Good morning.
おはようございます。
Did you sleep well last night?
はい、ぐっすりと寝ました。今日は今から、牡蠣の水揚げして、牡蠣の注文の出荷とかそういうことをやってきます。
Great. Shota works as an oyster farmer at Yamaguchi Suisan, their family-owned business founded in 1941 by his great-grandfather. Oh, that's his dad. This is Shota's 7th year in the company, which handles the entire oyster cultivating process, including its own sales. As the 4th generation in line to take over the business, he is involved in all aspects of the operation, even helping lead their 11 dedicated workers. What's that?
手を温かくするためです。手がかじかんで動かないんです。
That makes sense. Hi, how long have you been doing this?
自分はもう36年、7年目。
Wow. So you took over the business from your dad, right?
そうですね。他にやりたいこともたくさんあって、後継ぐっていうのがもう当たり前の時代だったんで。
Oh, what did you want to be?
本当は警察官とかなってみたかったんで。
He says that his youngest son actually became a police officer carrying on his dream. Right, this is pretty crazy. We are getting on the boat and going out to sea. In Japan, 60% of kaki, aka oysters, come from Hiroshima. In fact, Ishikawa Prefecture, where Shota is located, doesn't even make the list of the top 10 producers in the country. But his specific area, Noto, is renowned for cultivating extremely high-quality oysters, which are large, clean, and possess an unmistakable light umami. I guess we're here. First, the crew places the baby oysters in the ocean. In Japan, oyster farmers typically begin by purchasing scalp shells from specialized hatcheries, each one already attached with several young oyster seedlings. From there, they carefully rework and space them out like this, giving each oyster the room it needs to grow strong and healthy. These oysters are now placed back in the water after being on land. Japanese oyster farmers use several techniques to help oysters thrive in calm waters. One common method is briefly taking them out of the water to create a small amount of stress. Once returned, the oysters feed more actively, and over time, that process helps produce oysters that are larger and plumper. Hey, how many did you put back in the water?
7000個ぐらいかな。最低でも1ヶ月置いてから水揚げします。
So what's the hardest part of this job?
手が寒いところです。
Yeah, no joke. My hands are cold too. Now Now it's finally time to pull up the oysters that have been grown in the ocean for 2 full years, a bit longer than the usual 1 to 1.5 years. You can see the oysters piling up more and more as they pick it up from the water. I never realized how they're all just stuck together like this. In Japan, oysters are typically grown hanging from rope rather than resting on the seabed, a method that helps keep their texture tender and delicate. And Shota's family raises their oysters in calm, low salinity inland seas where the warm Tsushima current meets the cold Lehman current. This produces a special condition of mineral-rich waters filled with plankton. The result is Noto oysters, a flavor that is truly unique, deep in umami, and noticeably less briny than oysters from Europe or the United States. So it looks like we are heading back right now. Oh, this is like my Titanic moment. Hey, what are you doing?
まあ身の確認してます。
Got it. So how long have you been with the company?
13、4年ぐらいやってます。
Oh, wow. How'd you find the job?
社長が自分の同級生のお父さんで、まあ仕事全然見つからなくて、それでお世話になってます。
That's nice. So working here so long, what do you like about the job?
毎朝いい景色見れることですかね。
How's the oysters?
見入りバッチリですね。
Looks delicious. As a part of Shota's job, he must check the condition, size, and taste of the harvest to help ensure that they meet their quality standards. How is it?
めっちゃうまいです。食べます？
Oh, thank you. Oh, I just had that. That was so good. As soon as the crew arrives at the dock, they begin to unload the oysters. Today, they harvested about 3,000 oysters, but during peak season, which is at the end of December and January, that number can reach as many as 30,000 oysters in a single day. And over the course of a year, it adds up to around 1.5 million oysters, a scale that reflects the endurance these men must possess to face the elements day in and day out throughout the year. Next, the oysters are washed using a special machine that produces ultrafine bubbles that remove dirt as well as bacteria. Oyster farming is a natural part of life in this region of Japan, with its people living by the rhythm of the seasons. Historically, springs and summers were spent working in the rice fields, and once harvested in the fall, they turned to oyster farming, ensuring that they had work throughout the year. For Shota and his family, though, there is no shortage of work, as oyster farming is their year-round, 7-day-a-week way of life. Shota now quickly moves on to his next task, cleaning the shells. Since their fresh oysters are straight from the ocean, they're still covered with fujitsubo, barnacles. Already grown through their stressing process, these ones are selected for the premium quality and are sold with their shells, so they must look pristine. In order to do so, he must shave each shell by hand, one by one. Hey, can you eat them
これ
raw?
は能登の牡蠣は基本的に殻のついた状態では加熱用で販売してます。ただうちはウルトラファインバブルっていうそういう機械を入れてるので
He explains that the tiny bubbles help cleanse the oysters, allowing them to purge impurities so they can safely be eaten raw. In Japan, oysters must meet strict standards under the Food Sanitation Act to be sold for raw consumption. During peak season, oyster producers undergo regular testing, and only oysters that pass these inspections are approved to be shipped and labeled for raw serving. Okay, so it looks like they started to haul in the load from this morning. While Shota worked on his tasks, his crew unloads the oysters destined for the shucking room. Hi, how long have you been working here?
で大体 10年ぐらい
Nice, what did you do before this?
建築業
Oh, why'd you decide to make the switch?
自分の実家の近所で
Ah, it's more convenient. In Japan, oysters have been eaten since the Jomon period, and by the 16th century in Hiroshima, oyster farming techniques were developed, laying the foundation for modern cultivation. Eventually, these oysters from Hiroshima were carried to the markets of Osaka and Edo on oyster boats, where it became a prized winter delicacy for many in the country. Where are you going?
今から僕の毎朝の楽しみの船にカゴのトラップ仕掛けてやってここにたまに魚かかるんですけど
Let's check it out. What fish is that?
これクサフグです。この辺にいっぱいおる魚なんですけど。
Apparently, depending on the type of fish he catches, he'll cook and eat it. But since these are too small, he'll release them. Oh, there's a customer. He's a wholesaler for local hotels and restaurants, and it seems like he has a special order request. Hi, so where do you sell these oysters?
いろんな出張かき小屋で回ってて、今山中温泉の方で。い
Oh, do you always pick them
つ
up?
もはこう送ってもらったりとか、かきは取りに来ることもあるんですけども、ちょっと今日急遽なくなっちゃったんで、取りに来たような形です。
Nice, business is good. So what do your customers say about these Noto oysters?
能登のかきは塩味があって美味しいんだって皆さんすごい言ってもらうので、おかわりが多くて。
That's awesome. Hey, how much is one of these cans?
小売りの価格で、1万円程度で販売してるんですけど、飲食店さんだったらもうちょっと安く販売してます。気をつけて。
あ、すいません、ありがとうございます。
I think Shota's gonna be shelled up here for a little bit longer. So while he's doing that, let's go explore. Let's go see what's going on in this room. I guess this is where the workers shuck the oysters. In Japan, shucked oysters are called mukigaki, often used for hot pot or are fried. Excuse me, how long have you been working here?
私はまだ1年です。
Apparently, she's a friend of Shota's wife, and she decided to work here because there was no one else that could help out, and she didn't want the oysters to go to waste. So was it a challenge when you started?
難しかったです。さっき一つ一つの貝柱の位置が違くて、皆さんから応援してもらって、今ようやくちょっとずつ剥けるようになってきました。
Oh, how fast can you shuck now?
難しくて、1時間でようやく右にあるこの銀色のやつがいっぱいになるのが私のスピードですね。ベテランの姉さんたちにはかなわない。
Hi, how long have you been doing this job?
30年ぐらいやってるかね。ここ来て20年。
Wow, so what's the most important thing about doing this job?
綺麗に剥きたいと思って頑張ってます。やっぱり商品ですから。
I see. Aren't you cold here though?
まあ寒くはないですけど、電気出たり対策しています。
Thank you.
はい。
This is a pretty interesting setup right here because this wall is actually facing the river just outside. Here, they're shucking all of the oysters. They have a little garbage chute right here, and I think it feeds into outside. Let me go show you. This. Oh. Just on the other side of this wall, the ladies were sitting opening up the oysters. And then if you look a little closer down here, you can see a conveyor belt that is actually going over here. Let me show you. All the oyster shells are getting fed here for trash. Let's just go through here.
はいはい。
Excuse me, can I talk to you? Do you work here too?
ここで仕事してます。
You're Shota's mom, right?
そうですそうです。
Ah, so you've worked here a long time, huh?
ここにお嫁に来て32年くらいか。
That's incredible. What did you do before this?
普通に会社勤めしてました。千葉関係の金沢の。
Oh, that's cool. So how did you feel when your son made the decision to eventually take over the business?
嫌でした。サラリーマンになってくれた方が楽かなと思って。
Shota's mom is too familiar with how Japanese oyster farmers earn their living. It's as unpredictable as the weather. Typhoons and red tides about every 20 years directly impact their ability to put food on their table. It's a life not for everyone, which is why so many oyster farmers work with a relentless spirit, grateful for each day that they can harvest. So just over there, there's just a cool little shed. Let's check it out. Oh, so I guess this is where they have all the sticks, I guess what you call them. I don't know about you guys, but I really like these mini trucks or mini vans where they have this kind of mini bed in the back, but it's convertible, so I guess you can just like put like a cover over here so you can have it open or you can have it closed. I don't know if they have it in other countries, but pretty cool. Hey guys, taking a break? So are you guys close?
仲いいです家も近いんで
よく飲みに連れてってもらって
So you must love oysters.
自分食べれないんです。
What? Are you serious?
ちっちゃい頃からダメなんで
Can you eat?
自分は大好きです毎日食べる
お肉が一番。
Oh, okay. Shota, where are you
これか
going?
ら飲食店の、注文配達行ってきます。
In addition to all of his harvesting tasks, it's also his responsibility to create and maintain strong relationships with local businesses such as restaurants, hotels, and seafood markets.
おはようございます。
お帰りは
Nice, he's finally having breakfast. He usually goes home to eat with the family. Despite having a hectic schedule, he does his best to spend time with his family when he can, even if it's as simple as coming home for a short bit.
いただきます。
His wife works for the company too, but today is Sunday and nurseries are closed, so she's responsible for taking care of their kids during the day. Do you always eat fish for breakfast?
魚中心ですね、朝は。もう地元のスーパーで、この辺の魚安いので毎日食べてます。
That's a good life. No oysters though?
牡蠣は好きですけど、いつでも食べれるんで。
Just messing. So, how long have you two been married?
3年前ですね。
Oh, are you from Noto too?
私は兵庫県出身なんですけど、能登の里山とか里海に惹かれて移住してきて。
She says she got a job here in forestry and then eventually met Shota. By the way, do you own this house?
ただうち建てるつもりで賃貸やってたんですけど、地震で大工さんとかがものすごい忙しくなって値段も上がってどうしようかなって今悩み中です。
He says that the cost of building a home went up about 50%, so they're now thinking what to do in the future.
震災の時この家にいたんですけど、周りうちいっぱい建ってたんですよ。こうやってこっから逃げてきたんですけど、揺れが収まって振り返ったらここに瓦いっぱい落ちてて危なかったなって思い出があります。
Shota and his family lived through the devastating Noto earthquake 2 years ago. Many of the houses around them collapsed, and they even lost people that they worked alongside. Water was cut off for 2 months, baths were rare, and instant noodles became their daily meal. What made it even more difficult was that they had a newborn to look after. All the while, many people couldn't reach their families, and information about their community struggles was sparse since access to the area was limited. He took it upon himself to use his own social media to share their information to the rest of the world. Their family business also required a week of non-stop repairs, and through sheer will and determination, they were able to save the season's harvest despite water shortages, and overall, they were able to recover about 90% of the oysters. Oh, why are you clacking the oysters?
中身ちゃんと入ってるか確認ですね。中身入ってたらこれ低い音が鳴ります。これ空っぽ。
Oh yeah, I can hear the difference.
I feel like I can eat this whole bucket all by myself.
Shop seems quite busy today. Hey, do you know each other?
高校卒業してから金沢の市場働いてたんですよ、ちょっとだけ。その時の同僚です。
Ah, I see. Their shop caters to consumers as well as businesses, and on busy weekends, the shop prepares oysters for sampling so their customers can taste their product. Oh, it's break time?
お昼ご飯です。
At noon, Shota usually eats lunch with the crew. The company orders bento boxes and provides it to them. In Japan, it's pretty common for factories and similar type workplaces to offer reasonably priced bento boxes to their employees. Oh, are you on a diet or something? Cool, when did you start?
前ぐらいから
Oh, okay. By the way, what do you do when you're not doing
バイ
this?
クバイクですかね。今はもうさすがに寒いから乗らないですけど
Oh, nice. What do you ride?
ハーレーブレイクアウト21年モデルです。結構新しい。
That's dope.
はい、ありがとう。
What are you doing now?
まあ午前中の続きでやることはエンドレスでありますので、
Aren't you tired?
慣れてます。
Now he works on the oysters that they're going to place back into the water tomorrow morning. These oysters were pulled up yesterday, so they'll be prime for a feeding when they're resubmerged in the water. In Japan, people love large creamy oysters, which is why techniques like this were developed and passed down from generation to generation. The whole cultivating process takes as little as 1 year, while growing giant oysters takes up to 3 years. Next, Shota takes care of their discarded shells. One would assume that you could simply return them back to the ocean, but apparently it's not good for the environment, so he takes them to a specialized recycling facility. Shota, like many laborers in Japan, hold true to a Japanese work ethic, a belief that's been shaped by centuries and passed down from father to son, then father to son. It's a craftsmanship spirit that doesn't need to complain about his tasks, but rather takes pride in the process and the quality of what he creates. He doesn't think of work as work, but as a way of life, a way to refine himself each and every day. From here, the shells are sun-dried for about 3 years until they're completely dry, then are recycled as fertilizer or animal feed, making use of their main component, calcium carbonate. That's just insane. How many oysters? And then you can't even see, there's like another mountain just behind here. Look at this. There's even more behind this mountain. Shota has just conquered Kakiyama. It looks beautiful, but not the best smell in the world. I gotta get out of here. Yeah, finally done. That was an 11-hour workday. He must be exhausted. Hey, your socks don't match. Before leaving, he usually has a quick meeting with the crew to discuss the next morning's tasks, and then he heads home. Now he takes a quick shower before dinner time with his family. Today, they're dining out at one of their customers' restaurants. In Japan, it's pretty common for salespeople to intentionally spend money at their clients' shops. This custom traces back to a merchant philosophy from the Edo period known as Sampo Yoshi, which means good for the seller, good for the buyer, and good for society. Supporting a business partner's livelihood was seen as a way to strengthen trust and protect the relationship, a mindset that still shapes Japanese business culture to this day. Oh, there's Yamaguchi Suisan on the menu. That's cool. So it looks like Shota and the family are going to be here for just a little bit longer, maybe about an hour, and then after that they'll go home. Shota will play with the kids for a couple hours and probably go to sleep by 9 o'clock. But that's pretty much a day in the life of a Japanese oyster farmer. If you guys like this video, like always, help me out and hit that like button. If you guys want to help support the channel, then definitely check out my merch, check out my hot sauce. It takes 6 years to make. There is no hot sauce in this world like it. And finally, if you guys want to see more videos like this or anything related to Japan, hit that subscribe button and the bell button. I'll catch you guys in the next one.